as we all know, that the technological advancement, they are shaping almost all the sectors. So is our livestock sector. Actually, what is the need? Why we need technological interventions in the livestock sector nowadays? The first thing is that there are a lot of pressure that is going on in our sector. For example, the population is increasing. The demand for the animal protein is rising. Also, the people around are becoming more aware about the environmental consequences which are associated with the traditional livestock practices. So to mitigate all those pressures, we need technological advancements so that we can mitigate the environmental impact of livestock, we can enhance the efficiency of the livestock, and also to ensure the ethical animal welfare. So for this, as we all know that the conventional model of livestock production, it is mainly characterized by two things. First, it needs intensive resources. Second, the gas house emission, the greenhouse gas emission is significant in case of our livestock rearing. So these two main things are needed to be tackled by the intervention of the technology. So we need to transform our livestock farming from an environmental liability into a sustainable asset, so that we can have a global food security as well as ecological balance. So integrating the technology into the livestock farming is no longer an option, but it is essential for addressing the sustainability challenges, because it is not just that we need to take advantage of the livestock farms, but we need to share those advantages with the future generations as well. So we need to have a sustainable development. So for the sustainable development, it is very important that we integrate technology along with our livestock farming. So the digital technologies which are transforming livestock, they are mainly improving first the productivity. Second, it is improving the animal welfare. Then it is also taking care of the environment and the economic efficiency, because our stakeholders, the farmers, they are not very rich. So we need to take care that all the digital technologies which are getting into the livestock sector, they should be economically efficient as well. So in this context, these technologies will help farmers to have profitability as well as have the environmental and social responsibilities. Now, the first term that comes while we are discussing about the digital interventions is the precision livestock farming. So what is precision livestock farming? Earlier, what happened? Earlier, we used to take care of the herd level average. But now, as the technology is advancing, we are shifting our management to individual animal. We are monitoring the individual animal, we are taking care of the individual animal, we are taking the data from an individual animal, and based on that particular data, we are developing feed, medicine, etc. for the individual animals. So now it is no longer about the herd level average. It is no longer about the herd level, but it is about the individual level. We are taking care of each and every individual. We are taking data from every individual, and based on that, we are defining what type of livestock farming is needed for that particular animal. So precision livestock farming, it uses sensors, it includes the automation, and whatever data we are getting out of it, there is an analysis for the data, and we monitor the animal in the real time. Every individual, every animal is monitored, and their data is collected in the precision livestock farming. So what key technologies we are using in this are, first are the wearable sensors, like we are having the collars and ear tags, which are taking the data from the animal. We have GPS tracking system, then we have a smart feeding system, automated milking systems are there, and we have AI powered health monitoring systems as well. So all these technologies which we are talking about, they'll take care of each and every individual at an individual level, not at the herd level. So first, the sensor technologies. If we discuss about the sensor technologies, then as I've already told that there are some wearable sensors, like there are air tags. Then there are environmental sensors also, which sense what temperature is there. According to the temperature humidity index, they are taking out the data that whether this temperature and humidity, at what temperature humidity level the animal is having stress, at what temperature and humidity index they are feeling optimum temperature and humidity index we can have. So all these environmental sensors are also there. Then we have automated image analyzing systems also, like when the animal is raising, when the animal is sitting, etc. All those images are taken, and these images are then added up with the data to get some certain outputs. So all these sensor technologies are there. First, there are technologies which can be weighed by the animal, then there are environmental sensors, and then there are automated image analyzing systems also available nowadays. So these sensor technologies, what they do, they continuously collect the data on what they collect the data on animal behavior, how a particular animal is behaving at a particular temperature or humidity, or when we are feeding special feed to the animal, how it is behaving. Then this, it is also taking care of the physiological parameters and the environmental conditions. So all this data is being taken up, and then these data are used to take the decisions related to feeding. Like if we are taking the data, then at what particular timing it is best to feed the animal, at what particular um, time we can have the maximum, we can give the maximum water, at what time we should be milking the animal. So all these data which we are collecting, based on those particular data only, we are making the decisions of our feeding, the health management, and also the environmental control. So all these sensor technologies are helping in taking care of the individual animals so that their production as well as their health remains good. So then second thing comes as data analytics and artificial intelligence. Now, nowadays, it is all about artificial intelligence, and we are having the big data tools which can analyze large volumes of farm data to support the decision making. Everything is based on data nowadays. Data is very important. So whatever data we are collecting through the sensors, those data are then amalgamated with the artificial intelligence and machine learning to take particular decision. So what we are doing, whatever sensors are taking the data, whatever data is being generated by the sensors, we are using the algorithms. Artificial intelligence is using the algorithm for what? For to identify the patterns or to predict potential health issues, and also to optimize the resource allocation, where we need to find out whether there is a particular pattern which is associated with a particular disease, or we need to take care, we need to predict, if we need to predict if some potential health issue is about to come to a farm, or about to whether any potential health issue is about to affect a particular animal. So based on the data, like the behavioral data or the temperature data or the environmental data, based on that data, we can also predict all these health issues. Then third thing which this data analytics and artificial intelligence is helping us is to optimize the resource allocation and to detect the early signs of diseases in the animals, which allow for timely intervention and also for reducing the need of for prophylactic antibiotic uses. Nowadays, the antibiotic resistance is taking a hype, and it is a real issue. So we are, instead of giving antibiotics just like that, we can have the data which can help us in detecting the earlier signs of diseases, and based on that we can have the prophylactic antibiotic use. So we can reduce the use of the prophylactic antibiotics if we have an data regarding the earlier signs of the diseases. So before the disease occur, if we know that this disease is going to happen, then we can have the alternative arrangements also. So then comes the automated systems. In automated systems, we are having the robotic milking systems, the automated feeding systems are there, then robotic manual management system is also there. So what all these automated systems do, they help, first of all, they reduce the labor requirement, then they improve the efficiency also, and they enhance the animal welfare because they provide consistent and timely care. So this PLF, this is precision livestock farming, it is transforming the livestock management from the reactive to proactive data-driven decision making. Means if we are using precision livestock farming, we are using the sensors, we are using the automated system, then definitely we are having a proactive plan. Before any disease occur, we have a plan for that. For every individual, based on its nutritional requirement, based on its age, or based on its phase of life, we can have the nutritional requirements. So we can have the decision making before. So this PLF has transformed the livestock management to a proactive stage. Means before any disease occurs, before any negative impact occurs, we have the data to make our decisions and we can correct the particular things. So then the second most important thing is the feed and nutrition technologies. As we all know that the feed production is a major contributor to environmental footprint of livestock farming. So the technological advancements in this area are focused on optimizing feed efficiency and second, reducing the environmental impact of feed sources. Now, whatever technologies are coming in the feed and nutritional field, we have two main areas to focus on. First of all, we have to increase or optimize the feed efficiency of the animal. And second thing is we have to reduce the environmental impact of the feed sources. So first, there are feed optimization software have been developed. What they're doing, they're using the nutritional models and they're analyzing data to formulate animal diets. And these diets are formulated such that they at different life stages at different production phases what nutrition is required by the animal. Based on that particular life stage or production phase only, we are having the nutritional requirement. We are getting what nutrition at what time we need to give what nutrition to this animal. So we are having this feed optimization software nowadays. So first of what it does, it minimizes the feed waste and also it reduces the excretion of excess nutrients in the environment. So also in this feed and nutrition technologies, first is the feed optimization software, then there are alternative feed ingredients also. Nowadays, nutrigenomics is also coming into field, and the alternative feed ingredients are also there, then which offer more sustainable alternatives. So we are having researches are being done in the area of alternative feed ingredients, and also for the other sustainable alternatives which can be an alternative to the conventional feed sources like the soy and the corn. So these novel feed sources, what they do, they first of all they reduce the land use because we know that the land is fixed, and whatever ingredients we have to grow, the land is fixed. So we need an alternative. And also the greenhouse gas emissions which are associated with the feed production, that also needs to be taken care of. So the alternative feed ingredients, the technologies which are intervening in this particular area are mainly taking care of these two things, that first we reduce the land use and second we reduce the greenhouse gas emissions also. Then also feed additives are also playing an important role because the innovative feed additives, they are developed first to improve the nutrient digestibility, and methane emission is a real issue. So we have to reduce the methane emissions. So these feed additives, they are also helping in reducing the methane emissions, and they are enhancing the animal health. So these additives, they range from plant-based extract to the synthetic compounds. Nowadays in labs also, feed additives are being developed which are designed to target the specific metabolic pathways in the animals. So again, the technological interventions are making everything more specific. Now, these synthetic compounds which are being developed in the as feed additives, they are targeting the specific metabolic pathways. So definitely they will be having a better results or better outcome. Then apart from feed, the third major important thing in whole of the livestock is the waste management technology. So definitely in the waste management also we need certain technological interventions so that the waste does not contribute to the air pollution or to the water pollution or to the land pollution. So technologies offer solution to transform that waste into valuable resource. So in this waste management technologies, anaerobic digestion is one of the scientific interventions which uses the microorganisms to break down organic matter in animal waste in the absence of oxygen, and it produces biogas also, which is a renewable energy source, and a digestate which can be used as nutrient rich fertilizer. So if we are doing the anaerobic digestion of the waste, then we are getting two things out of it. First of all, we are getting the biogas, which is a renewable energy source, and a digestate that can be used as a nutrient rich fertilizer. And it also reduces the greenhouse gas emission that emits due to manure storage. So the anaerobic digestion is one of the technological intervention that may be used in waste management. Then nutrient recovery system, they recover the nutrients that can be processed into fertilizers, reducing reliance on the synthetic fertilizers. So from the waste, these technologies are extracting the nitrogen, phosphorus, etc., or the nutrients from the uh, waste, and they are using them as the fertilizers so that we have a less reliability on the synthetic fertilizers. Then we already know about the composting and vermicomposting. So there are also the technological interventions we can say for which are taking care of the waste. In vermicomposting, we are using the earth forms which are enhancing the composting process. So all these are the technological interventions which we are doing in the waste management area. Then one more important thing that needs to be discussed is the Internet of Things that is coming up in the livestock management. So these are the devices which connect equipment and animals to a centralized system. For example, we are using the environmental sensors, like as I already discussed, the temperature, humidity, ammonia levels, etc. All these environmental sensors, if then water consumption monitoring, then smart barns with automated ventilation. So all of these equipments which are used and the animals which are getting affected because of all these, the data which we are collecting from all these equipments and the animal, and we are giving it to the centralized system, that the whole of this is known as Internet of Things. So what are the benefits that it is giving? First of all, it is reducing the energy used, and we can have a better climate control. Like if we have environmental sensors, we can identify the stress level of the stress level, at which particular level of temperature or humidity or ammonia the animal is feeling stress. So the better climate control we can give. Then again, prevention of heat stress, and if we are reducing all of these stresses from the animal, then definitely we are reducing the mortality rate as well. So Internet of Things is nothing but it is a connection of the equipment, the animals, and the data collected from those animals into a centralized system. Then one more very important technological intervention is the blockchain. Blockchain is for traceability. Nowadays, we know that the consumers are becoming more and more aware, and they want to know exactly from what place that product is coming to the supply chain. So we need to have a blockchain. Blockchain is the newest, or we can say that it is a technological intervention which is the need of the hour. And as the consumers are becoming more and more aware, so we need to incorporate this also in our livestock system. So it enhances the transparency in the livestock supply chain. So it first of all, it increases the traceability from the farm to the fork. Like whatever is coming on the table, we exactly know from which farm, which animal that particular product is coming. Then it reduces the food fraud also. And if we are giving the blockchain of a particular food to the consumer, then definitely we are also increasing the consumer trust. And also nowadays, people are more towards the organic and sustainable practices. So we can have a verification also that if we are having the blockchain, we can trace the product from where it is coming. Then we can also verify that whether it is organic or not. So we can have so all these sustainable practices, if we are having a transparency in the livestock supply chain, then it enhances the consumer trust also. So the next technological intervention which is coming up in the livestock sector are the drones and the remote sensing. So through the drones and satellite imaging, it can support the pasture and herd management. The major applications, it includes the monitoring of grazing patterns. Like we can monitor where the animals are grazing, what particular grass they are eating. So we are having that data from the drones or the remote sensing. So if an animal goes for grazing and return with some of the diseases, then we can trace the exact point from where that particular animal has got that particular infection. So this drones and this remote sensing, they help in monitoring the grazing pattern of the animal. Then we can also assess the pasture health. We can detect the water shortages, and also we can manage the large herds efficiently, because it is not possible to look after each and every animal when it is going for grazing. So if we are having the drones and the remote sensing, then definitely we can manage larger herds more efficiently. And it is also having environmental impact, that it prevents the overgrazing, it supports the rotational grazing, and it also protects the biodiversity. Then robotics and automation is yet another intervention which reduces the labor intensity. As we all know that if robotics comes into the livestock management part, then much of the labor intensity which we are using nowadays will be reduced, and also it improves the precision. So for example, nowadays robotic milking machines are being used in foreign countries. Then automated manual collection is also there, as soon as the manure is there, it can be collected by the robots or the machines. And there's feed distribution robots are also there. These all technologies are in foreign countries. Sustainable contribution is that they improve the hygiene. That if the robots they are automatically collecting the manure, then definitely it is also helping in improving the hygiene. And better waste management is also there, and reduced water and energy consumption. Then digital platforms and farm management softwares are also coming up these days. The farm management systems, what they do, they integrate the financial, environmental, and production data. So what are the benefits that we are getting from the digital platforms? First of all, it can track the carbon footprint, regulatory compliance, then resource optimization. If we know where our finance is flowing, we can have the resource optimization also. And if we can optimize our resources, then definitely we can also improve the farm profitability. So these all are the technologies which are intervening in our livestock farms. So now if we see some real world case studies that where they are being used, or where these technologies are being used in real field. So there are I have taken some of the examples from foreign countries and some of the examples from India as well. So we'll be taking these examples one by one. So first of all is the smart dairy farming, that is Lely in Netherlands. So what technology it is using? It is using the robotic milking machines and automated feeding and herd monitoring sensors. So this is a Dutch company, Lely, and it is using the automated milking robots, and it allows the cows to choose when they are to be milked. And this system is developed such that they are collecting the data on field milk yield, how much milk is being given by a particular animal, its health also, and feeding behavior also. So it is 24 into 7 times it is collecting the data. So what is the impact that it is creating? First of all, if we have the automatic this if we have this auto robotic milking system, and we have the herd monitoring systems which are monitoring the cow health, then what they are doing, their detection of mastitis is much more earlier. So if they are detecting the mastitis earlier, they are reducing the use of antibiotic. So definitely antibiotic residues are coming less in the milk, so milk is also getting improved. And also if we are detecting the mastitis earlier, then it is easier to treat it also, and the animal will suffer less also. So it is ethical also, and financially also it will be helpful. Then we are having the precision feeding, because how precision feeding, based on the milk which the animal is giving, based on that particular criteria, they are giving the feeding. So if the animal is giving more milk, they are giving it better feed or more amount of feed. So precision feeding is also there, so it is lowering the feed waste also. Then it is also improving the animal welfare, it is reducing the stress. And because animal is allowed to milk whenever the animal want, it can it they that at that time the robot will milk it. So it is also reducing the stress. Better milk productivity per cow is there, and the labor requirement is also reduced, because the all the functions related to the milking has been automated. So what results it gave? The farms which are using this Lely system, they reported that they have improved milk yield and better herd health management, and they are also lowering the resource use per liter of milk. So this is one of the example of using technological or having technological interventions in the livestock system. Then second example is precision livestock monitoring, which is being used by Elflex Livestock Intelligence Global. So what they're doing, they're using the smart air tags, they're using the activity sensors, and they're using the health monitoring collars. So Elflex provides wearable sensor technology, and it is tracking the rumination, it is tracking the movement of the animal, and it is also tracking the behavior of the cattle. So these data, they're tracking and they're collecting the data. So all of these data, the behavioral data, the movemental data, and the rumination, all this data is being analyzed to detect if there is some illness or the fertility cycles or the stress levels also. So this precision livestock monitoring is being used by this Elflex Livestock Intelligence global. So what impact it is having? First of all, we can have an early disease detection. Then it also lowers the veterinary cost. It is reducing the antibiotic overuse, and it is also improving the reproductive efficiency and better feed conversion ratios also. So the dairy farms in the United States and Europe, which are using this LFlex system, they report that their improved conception rate and also the lower greenhouse gas emission per unit of milk. So this is also a very good example of technological interventions where we can improve the conception rate, we can decrease the veterinary cost, and we can decrease the antibiotic overuse, etc. Then the third example is from Australia. They are using methane reduction monitoring technologies. So what they are doing, they are having methane measurement sensors and feed additive trials they are doing. So there is a agency that is Australia's National Science Agency, CSIRO. They have developed a digital system which measures the methane emission from cattle, and they test feed additives also like seaweed that significantly reduce the methane production. So they are also working on the those feed additives which actually help in reducing the methane production in the cattle. And also they are measuring that how much amount of methane is being emitted by the cattle. So what is the impact of using these technologies? First of all, in their trials, they have found that the methane emission has reduced up to 80%, and they are supporting the climate smart livestock system also, because methane is contributing to the global warming also. So if we can reduce the methane from there, then definitely it is a climate smart livestock system. So it also contributes to the national emission reduction methods. There is, of course, we all know that there is a mission, there is some target that we have to reduce the methane emission. So in that also, in that particular field also, these sensors or these technological interventions are playing a very important role. So this innovation, it directly addresses the livestock contribution to the climate change. They are reducing the methane emission, they are tracking it, and they are also working or research, they are also doing the research on the feed additives which can help in reducing the emission of methane. Then another example from Australia is the smart pasture management. So they are using IoT sensors, they are using the satellite data and predictive analytics, where they are using the real-time environmental sensors so that their livestock farmers can manage the pasture quality, the soil moisture, and the grazing patterns as well. So it is preventing the overgrazing, it is optimizing the water usage, and it is enhancing the pasture productivity, and it also protects the soil health. Then in Kenya, there is a digital livestock services in Africa that is known as iCow. So it is a mobile-based advisory services. In iCow, what they are doing, they are providing the Kenyan farmers with SMS-based information on animal health, their breeding cycles, feeding, what feeding patterns they should give, and the disease prevention also. So this is also a very good example where the digital intervention has helped in improving the smallholder productivity and reducing the livestock mortality, because they are giving pre-information regarding the prevention of diseases, and they're also reminding the farmers for for their vaccination schedules, and thereby if the livestock is healthy and giving good production, then definitely they are increasing the farmers' income and also enhancing the food security. So this digital livestock service in Africa, which is given the name of iCow, it bridges the digital divide by providing affordable advisory service in the rural communities. So in rural communities also, through this uh, mobile-based advisory services, they are giving their advices, better advices for the better animal health, for the better feeding, for the prevention of diseases to the rural farmers. Then in USA, this is one of the latest, like in 2024-25, they have started it. Halter has started this in USA. They are having the virtual fencing technique. So what is this? It is a solar powered virtual fencing collars and software. So it guides the cattle without physical fences. If you want to guide the cattle that which place it should go, which place it should not go. So instead of having the physical fences, they are guiding it through the fencing collars. They're using these digital tools to manage the grazing, to protect the habitats, and to promote the rotational grazing. If we want to have rotational grazing and we want to direct the cattle where it should graze, where it should not graze, and if we want to protect the habitat, if we want to manage the grazing, that in that cases, the USA is using this particular technology, which is the virtual fencing technique, and it is one of the latest technique which they are using for their livestock management. Then in Europe, they are using the precision sensors like the PLF wearable sensors they are using, which can detect the heat stress and the behavior changes in the dairy cattle. So based on that particular stress, they will intervene that at what particular what particular environment those animals should be kept. So Europe is blending the policy support with the digital tools for the animal welfare, for the climate resilience, and for the farm productivity. So again, one very good example of this digital intervention is in Africa is digital advisory and record keeping platforms. So they are keeping the records so that based on those records, they can monitor the herds and they can have the disease alerts as well. So now coming to India, in India also these technological interventions are coming into system in livestock systems. This IIT Allahabad, it has developed a thermal imaging and mobile AI system for detecting the early signs of foot and mouth disease. And it also sends automated alerts to the farmers and vets in local languages. What it is doing, it is integrating the computer vision with cloud analytics and to reduce the disease spread and livestock losses. So this is a thermal imaging and mobile AI system which is being developed by IIT Allahabad, and this is recently in 2025 this news has come. So this by using this particular technology, they are detecting the FMD at an earlier stage so that they can have an automated alerts to the farmers and the particular disease does not spread and the livestock may be saved. Then second example, which is a good example for technological interventions, especially in India. Again, this IIT, that is Indian Institute of Information Technology, Allahabad, it has also developed a AI and machine learning video monitoring system where they are monitoring the cattle behavior, like their posture, what they are eating, their movement, etc. And based on these, they are detecting the early signs of diseases like mastitis, lumpy skin disease, and ketosis. Mainly on the behavioral aspect, they are doing the research, and based on the behavior of the animal, they are trying to correlate it with the diseases. Like if an animal which is about to have mastitis or which is which is at an earlier stage or the later stage, what difference their behavior is, what is the difference in their behavior, if that behavior can be correlated with the diseases or not. So these all things are being worked out, and AI, of course, the artificial intelligence, the data which is being taken up, that is being analyzed using the artificial intelligence and machine learning. And also they are sending the alerts to the farmers automatically. So nowadays pilot testing is going on in some selected cow shelters. And also there's one more research which has been very recent in 2026, that is early warning health tech, which is being taken care of by Gadwasu and NIT Rourkela. So it is a 90 plus crore initiative which is funded by India's PAIR and ANRF program. And what they are doing, they are also on the basis of artificial intelligence and machine learning, they are creating an early warning systems which can predict the livestock sickness even before the visible symptoms appear. So they are using the sensory tags and they are analyzing the behavior. They are using those sensory tags, they are taking up the behavioral data, and based on the behavioral data, they are trying to predict whether that particular animal is going to be sick or not, even before the visible symptoms are appearing. So this is also one of the very good example of technological interventions which is being taken up in India. So now after seeing all these real cases, now what is the need? Why is it actually needed? So it is needed because we need to take care of the animal health and the welfare. Like if we can diagnose the disease earlier, even before the symptoms are appearing, then definitely we can help in mitigating it. So, or also we can reduce the use of antibiotics. So antibiotic resistance, which is being developed, which is quite developing nowadays, that may be stopped. So we can reduce the antibiotics. So first of all, using these technological interventions, we can detect the diseases earlier. So it helps in animal health and welfare also. Second thing is environmental resilience. Like if virtual fencing, like example, we have seen that virtual fencing is being used, then climate smart platforms are being developed. So these are supporting the pasture regenerations and also the lower methane emissions. So environment is also being taken care of if we are using these technological interventions. Then inclusivity, the mobile and low cost digital tools, they can help the smallholder farmers to participate in the digital livestock economies. So if we are, of course, we are, our stakeholders are the smallholder farmers. So if using these mobile, if we have certain technologies which they can avail in the mobile, or which is a low cost digital technology, then definitely they can also participate in that digital livestock economies. Then also data driven decision making. All of these technologies, they are mainly based on the data. So if we can collect the data, and based using those data, we can formulate some models, which by using the artificial intelligence or by using the machine learning, then we can aggregate them. We can aggregate the health, we can aggregate the productivity and environmental data also, so that they may help in resource use and also for better support policy. Also, these technological interventions are important because they are contributing to the environment. Like all the digital technologies which we are using, or which we are getting into, which are getting into our livestock system, they are mainly directed towards reducing the methane emissions, which is definitely helping the environmental goals, yeah, environmental sustainability. Then they are improving the manure management, they are efficient water usage, they are helping us in using the water efficiently. Then we are having a climate resilient livestock system, because if we are having the sensors, we can easily identify, okay, this is the particular level of temperature or particular level of humidity at which the animal is at ease, and if the temperature or humidity raises above this, then the animal will go into stress. So we can have the climate resilient livestock system based on the sensors. Then antibiotic use can be lowered, the chemicals which we are using as fertilizers, that can be lowered, and we can also reduce the feed waste. So definitely these technological interventions are very important because they're contributing to the environmental sustainability. Then apart from environmental sustainability, they are also giving some economic and social benefits. Like if we are having a system where we can predict whether the animal is going to be sick or not, then definitely if we know that, okay, this animal may get sick, then we will mitigate those causes which are tending those animal to be sick. So by this, we are reducing the cost of veterinarians and the cost of medicines. So this will increase the farmer's income, and also we can increase the production. If the animal is not in a stress, then definitely its production will increase. And if production will increase, then definitely the farmer's income will also increase. So it is having the economic benefit also. Then it is reducing the operational cost. The technological interventions are improving the food security as well, and they're enhancing the consumer transparency if we are using the blockchain. So there are economic and social benefits as well if we are using the technological interventions in our livestock system. Now, talking about all these, what all technologies are there in the livestock, and the different real cases in US or Africa or in India, which we have seen in previous slides, and also knowing all the benefits of these technologies, then the very important question comes is, what are the challenges in adopting these technologies? So definitely, whatever technological advancements are coming, they are also coming with some of the challenges which we need to take care of. Like what are the challenges? Like the high initial investment cost. Then definitely any technological intervention, like if we are having the robotic milking or automated feeding, then initially the initial investment cost will be high. Then in our among our farmers, there is limited digital literacy. So this is also one of the barrier in adopting those technological interventions. Then third, very important is data privacy concerns, because all these maximum of these technological interventions, they are based on the data. So privacy of that particular data of that farm or that farmer or that animal is also a very important concern. Then connectivity issues in the rural areas and the need for technical support. All these technological interventions which we have seen, these also need the technical support. So we need specialized persons which are having knowledge about these technologies, and if any hurdle comes in using that technology, they may be taken care of by those particular technical persons. So these are some of the challenges which we need to face while adopting these technological interventions. Now, if the problems are there, then definitely there will be some solutions also. There will be some implications. There will be some pathways forward, like some solutions. So, whatever this scenario we have studied, it needs attention from the policymakers also, from researchers' point of view also, from industrial stakeholders also, and from the consumers also. So, coming to the policy and regulation, the government and the international organizations, they need to play a very proactive role. If we need to incorporate these technological interventions into our livestock farming, it is very important for the government to play a very proactive role. How it can play a proactive role? First is by incentivizing the sustainable technology adoption. So financial incentives, yes, subsidies or technical assistance programs are very must to encourage the adoption of these technologies, particularly for the smallholder farmers. Like why these technological interventions, they should be given proper information that if you're taking up these technological intervention in your livestock farming, then this will be the benefit. This is the financial incentive. These are the subsidies which are being given. So in this particular area, the government has to play an important role. Second important role where the government has to take place is regulating the data governance and privacy. As already discussed, that the data which is being taken from the animal, from the farm, from the environment, through the sensors and about the farmers, that needs to be regulated. Like there should be, it is very essential to protect the farmer data and to prevent the data colonialism. So farmer owned data platforms should be supported, and we have to have privacy regulations and some ethical guidelines as well, that if we are collecting the data, having a centralized system, then who all can see or who all can approach to that particular data. Then third thing is establishing environmental standards and safeguards. Like we have to prevent the environmental rebound effects, and we need to ensure that the technological efficiency it gains. Whatever technology we are intervening, it is getting some environmental benefits as well, because we are talking about the sustainable livestock farming. So whenever the term sustainable livestock farming, sustainable comes, then it has to have benefits to the environment and benefits to the future generations as well. So we need to take care of these things, that whatever technology is being entered into the livestock farm, it is not harming the environment, it is not creating havoc for the future generations. Also, promoting the animal welfare standards. So while whenever we are using whenever we having any technology, then we need to regulate that it promotes high animal welfare standards. So we need to have an objective welfare monitoring system and ethical guidelines also, that where at to which particular extent that technology may be used, and so that the welfare of the animals is not compromised. Then apart from the government, the researchers and the innovators, they also have a important role to play here. First of all, as researchers, we need to develop affordable and accessible technologies. Like it should be low cost, it should be user friendly technology. If you're making a technology which is very costly, then the benefits of that particular technology will not reach to the smallholder farmers. So we need to have the technologies that are having low cost, and also they are user friendly, like not very difficult to use. The farmers should be able to operate them. So it should be, the technologies should be developed such that they are low cost and they are user friendly. Then second, we need to take care of the animal welfare technologies also. So developing more sophisticated and objective animal welfare monitoring systems is very important. So whatever technology we are developing, we need to take care of the animal welfare also, because it is very, very, very important. Then exploring the ethical and societal implications. So we need to have interdisciplinary research, like multiple disciplines should come together and they should do a research or plan a research that is low cost, user friendly, and that is taking care of the animal welfare also. And it is exploring the ethical side also, social side also, and cultural side also of the livestock farming. So the participatory technology development, there should be more people from various disciplines so that we can have more mindsets that can see in different dimensions of a particular research. And it is important to, if possible, the stakeholders should also get engaged, which is also very crucial. So government, then our researchers, then the responsibility comes for the industry and the consumers also. Like industry should invest in sustainable technologies. Like the livestock companies and the technologies, they should prioritize the investments in sustainable and ethical technologies. Then promoting transparency and traceability, like blockchain. If a particular industry is embracing the transparency, is embracing the traceability, or is utilizing the technologies like the blockchain, then definitely it will build consumer trust, and rewards should be given to the responsible producers, those who are having the proper traceability or blockchain. Then making informed consumption choices. So this goes to the consumers. Like consumers should make informed purchasing decisions and they should support the companies which are committed to the sustainability. So these are some of the part where the industry and the consumer may take its responsibilities. So if I sum up the entire slides, then we need to address the digital technologies. So we need a collaborative approach towards this. We need to have a long-term vision for the sustainable and ethical food future. We need systems, we need technical interventions, but those technical interventions are such that they should have a long term vision. Like it should be sustainable. It is not like we are having a short term gain and not thinking about the future. It is not like that. The technological interventions, whatever digital technologies we are creating as a researchers or we are promoting as a consumer or industrialist, we should take care of that these technologies are having a long term vision. Then this technology, as we all know, holds immense potential which can transform the livestock farming for the better. But we need to make conscious choices. We have to be responsible for the innovation, and we have to have a shared commitment to the future, because after all we are discussing about the sustainable livestock farming. And also the path forward, it requires collaboration from different mindsets, collaboration from the government, collaborations from the researchers, collaborations from the industrialists, and responsible innovations and shared commitments so that we can have a sustainable food future. So this is all from my side. Thank you so much. Hello, sir.